her body, the gene mutation causes tumors to grow. Thankfully, none of them have been cancerous, but she's had to have her thyroid removed.
Oh, wow.
And recently had to have a lump from her breast removed. And, like, I freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm having flashbacks of my cancer. I'm like, she's 16 years old. Like, she's too young to go through this. I'm like, telling my brother, you guys should start her on CBD. And sent him a trailer for Weed the People. I'm like, watch this. Like, it will change your guys' mind. And I still haven't seen it.
Okay, but rewind, too, because so your mom had cancer.
Right, yeah.
And didn't you tell me something about the CBD Living reaching out to you too?
Yeah, so it wasn't them per se like reaching out to me. They were the first CBD company that I really, I guess, looked into. It was one that they would ship it to you because they had the waters at Emerald City, and I got those, and they had the bath bombs too. And like I got on their website and just started like looking what they had, and got signed up on their email list, and ordered some stuff from them. And it was in October of 2017, so I had already been diagnosed. I already had my mastectomy. I had my mastectomy in September, but it was in October.
So from June finding the lump, by September you're already having the mastectomy.
Mm-hmm. So June I had already had the lump. That was when it became, I guess, vocalized to my boyfriend. And then July I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
And then were you using any cannabis medicinally at that point, or just still recreationally?
Still recreationally. I think it was before I was diagnosed. He had started or bought like a patch from the dispensary, so I put the patch, like a CBD patch, on my boob where the lump was, and I was doing that. And then he was buying me the waters, so that's what I was drinking. And then I started to order stuff from them. And in that October, I think we were actually on our way to our first camping trip post mastectomy, and I was on my phone reading my emails while he was filling up gas, and the email was from CBD Living, and they were offered a discount code, but they were saying that for every purchase in the month of October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, they're going to donate 25% to the Multiple Myeloma Foundation, which is the same kind of cancer my mom had. So to me, in that moment, was like my mom saying, that was her sign to me saying, this is what you need to do. You need to take this stuff. Like,
you need some CBD.
Mm-hmm. And I even sent it, like, I screenshot it and sent it to my stepdad, like, because we're both very, like, spiritual in that way, like, seeing the signs, like, looking for the signs, too, and acknowledging them. And I'm just like, wow. And he said, do it. Like, I believe 100%, like, you need to try it. And because when she was going through her cancer, she refused to try anything. Like, we didn't, like I said, she passed away 5 years ago this year, and I didn't know anything about CBD. I knew that people smoked marijuana. Like, I watched one of my favorite movies was Stepmom with Susan Sarandon, where she has cancer and she's smoking weed. Like, but that's where my only knowledge of it really then was that you smoked it to help with the nausea and eat. Like, I didn't realize, like, it helps fight cancer cells or prevents cancer cell growth, and that we have an endocannabinoid system and receptors for all of it. Like, wow. Like, now I have gone down the rabbit hole, and I'm obsessed with it, and now I feel like I have to repay what I've been gifted and the knowledge and pay it forward and reach out to our community and spread the word what CBD is and what marijuana really is and how we've been fooled.
Yeah. Tell me more about how it helped you, though, during your cancer and, like, the chemo process.
So, wow, yeah. I remember going through chemo, that after I would have my chemo on a Friday, and we would usually, after that, either I'd go with Patrick to the dispensary, or He would go without me, but his treat to me was a CBD bath bomb.
Nice.
And that was, like, he would get a couple of them, because I have a little mason jar probably that full of all the stones.
Oh, cute.
But that was my treat, because it was for the body pain. Like, the way I described chemo to people was like having a really bad case of the flu, where the body aches, the nausea, just
crawling,
basically. And it just, my favorite thing to do was soak in the bath with the bath bomb and just lay there. But I was eating edibles to help with the pain from the surgery, because before you even start chemo, they send you in for a chemo education, and they have your prescriptions that these are what we want you to fill before you even start chemo, the anti-nausea medicines. There was, I think, 3 or 4 different ones, and they're going over them. We have Zofran, Ativan, and I can't remember the other 2, but it was just, we want you to take this one first, and if that one doesn't help within 30 minutes, go ahead and take this one, and if that one doesn't work within 30 minutes, use this one. And I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah. Oh, and mind you, I don't even think you said this, and how old are you at this time?
32.
Yeah. So you're like super young.
Mm-hmm.
Super young. And just hit with this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going through your class.
And mind you, at the time, I was in business school and working part-time.
And a mom.
I am a mom of 2, in a new relationship, just moved in together.
A lot is going on.
Yeah.
Sorry, we forgot to paint that picture.
Right? I got a little ahead of myself. But seriously, my experimenting, like, with cannabis, like, I felt like that was I needed that, like, being in business school, that I was led that way, to see that that's, like, how it is used medicinally, and the different strains that you can use to help with different things. And like the one guy,
it's like cannabis raised its hand. It's like, hey, give me a second chance
look
here.
Look at me over here.
By the way, did you know I can do this?
Right. And so that, like, going through the chemo, besides the bath bombs, it helped with the nausea. Like, I would eat the edibles. That really helped with the nausea. Mm-hmm. The lack of appetite, and like the pain. Like, those I think helped more with the pain than really smoking it. Yeah. Smoking it kind of helped with the mind. I, like, take my mind off of the traumatic event that I'm going through, all of the stuff that I'm going through. It was soaking in the bath with the bath bomb, but being high to where I was happy. Like, it was helping me with the depression. Like, I wasn't using the anti-nausea medicines that were also an antidepressant. And
so I think around then there weren't a lot of CBD products on the market. Like,
there were bath bombs.
They were rising up, but as far as like a variety of full spectrum to CBD to CBN, CBG, like, that's people, like, weren't even talking about that kind of stuff.
Last few months that I really think that I've seen that,
like, CBG and stuff has gone more mainstream. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're definitely right. So I guess my question is, do you think if you would have known about full spectrum, at least, do you think you would have used that more than the full on, like, marijuana products, or do you think that it would not have been enough?
Honestly, I don't know. Because,
like, maybe for someone going through it today,
right? And and I want to say, like, my chemo brain's bad, but, like, I'm having, like, that kind of recollection that I remember, and even I think my boyfriend said it too, is that with us learning, because he befriended, like, Greg at Highway 99, mm-hmm. and his son has a lot of health issues, and so they talked, because it was whenever he went in there and was buying a bunch of CBD stuff, and Greg was like, dude, like, people don't usually buy CBD, like, we mostly have the people going in there for recreational stuff, like, what's going on, why are you buying it? And so they became friends, and over my story and his son, and
cool.
So
very cool.
He learned from Greg that we do need the THC with the CBD, like, you need them both to work together, like, and that's where we learned about the entourage effect. Mm-hmm. They work better when you keep them together, and but so that's even though I was buying your isolate tincture at the time, I was still using THC. That was how I supplemented it. So, but as soon as you started full spectrum, I was like, okay, I switched to that. I bought the capsules first.
But by then, were you in remission already?
Yeah, I was in remission. Yeah. Because you just came out with the full spectrum, when was it?
Probably like almost a year ago. Not quite.
Yeah.
Or like 6 to 8 months ago.
Yeah, it was I had my last round of chemo in February of 18. So.
Okay. Yeah.
It was after I was already.
That would make sense.
But. Yes, but as soon as you came out with the full spectrum, I started with the capsules, but I didn't really feel like they did anything for me. I don't know.
The pure CBD or the soft gels?
The soft gels.
Oh, okay.
And
but mind you, those are only 15 milligrams.
And I think that's too.
So for a person who's consuming cannabis on a regular basis, and you have, like, you're already intaking so many cannabinoids.
Right. And
so your tolerance is probably just a lot higher.
Yeah. And I think that's what it was, is that I wasn't really to me, like, I couldn't justify the capsules over the tincture. Like, when it came to that, like, I was using more, so I was taking more capsules to try and get that effect, and so I was going through that jar more, but whenever I got the tincture, like, I find that that's lost me. Actually, the first time, the 2500, I think I told you that when I took it, like, I realized that I took too much because I was feeling like I was dragging
that stuff is good.
Right?
That stuff is good.
And even Patrick was like, I can't take it in the morning anymore. Like, I feel so like I'm just like a zombie walking around.
Yeah. Full spectrum.
Yeah, it's good. Mm-hmm. It works. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, you want to try the full spectrum. It makes me feel like a super accomplished and rewarded whenever I have a customer come into the CBD shop and they come in and like, I don't want any THC, like super sketched out, like I just want the CBD, I don't want any THC, and like, but then I'm able to like calmly like tell them, explain to them, teach them about the differences between just plain CBD and a full spectrum. And whenever I can get them to be like, so you say it works better if it has a little bit of THC? And I'm like, there's less than 1%. It's 0.3%, and that's the whole thing.
Look at the grand scheme.
Yeah.
Think of the whole percent.
Like, they're like, it's not going to make me high. And I'm like, I have to tell people like probably 20 times a day, it's not going to make you high. If anything, it's just going to make you really tired, like you need to go home and go to sleep. And that's just a sign that you need to cut back. Right. You're not going to overdose.
Right.
And then you're not going to be crazy. And then that's what because they come in, I'm in so much pain, like, I need the strongest one. I'm like, no, you want to start between 300 and 500. And maybe if you're already on opiates for pain, maybe start a little bit higher. But we generally want to start them around 500. And if we can get the full spectrum, that's awesome. But then we have the customers that come in and they're like, I work in the oil field, so I get drug tested randomly all the time. And we're like, well, you can take the chance of using it, but we have had customers that come in that said that they did a home test and it came up positive for THC in their system. So it all depends on your body and how
fast you metabolize it.
Because I have to tell them, like, you have the potential of it building up in your system and you testing dirty if you're using it multiple times a day. If you use it once in a while, you have a lot less risk. But if you're using it daily, then we have to stay with the isolate. Yeah. But you're going to have to use a little bit more to get the effect that you want of using a full spectrum.
Right. So, in your case, I think you're a little lucky because the universe was kind of guiding you to cannabis before you were diagnosed.
Right.
But had you not gotten guided, do you think that you would have started using it?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I haven't really thought of that because it is exactly what you said. I feel like the universe in every single way of my life in that time was guiding me to cannabis. Like, but everything in life in general, because even in high school, even though I experimented with it, and I stopped, I still had a neighbor that grew it and smoked it every day and was dealing, like, so I was still